Growing up as a kid in the 70s, every August brought me and my buddies down with the inevitable end of summer break. The local newspaper would reveal who our new teachers would be, mom would take me shopping for school supplies, and none of it felt like fun. Except for one thing. Every year, I got to pick out a new lunchbox. Now, back then, lunchboxes weren't just for carrying food. They were your identity. Some kids rocked ones with their favorite cartoon character, others had comic book heroes. But as the summer of '79 came to a close, I chose a lunchbox with a futuristic hero alongside a Mel Blanc voice robotic sidekick that starred in my favorite TV show at that time. You know who it is. Let's get into it. Greetings and salutations, I'm PopCultureKen, and I've unearthed a childhood relic from my Collectible Corner to share with you today. Back in late '79 through '81, you could bet your lunch money on where I'd be every Thursday night. Parked in front of the TV, tuned into NBC, ready for the latest adventures of Buck Rogers in the 25th century. The show starred Gil Gerard as Buck, Felix Silva as Twiki, and Aaron Gray as Colonel Wilma Deering. Man, that show had everything a kid wanted. Spaceships, laser battles, cool uniforms, wisecracks, mostly from a small robot that stole every scene he was in.
Freezing my ball bearings off.
It was also one of the few shows of mine that my dad would join me to watch. Gee, I wonder why. Thanks to the action figure tidal wave created by Star Wars, the toy aisles exploded. If something had lasers or spaceships, it got merch. And Buck Rogers was no exception. We had action figures, vehicles, model kits, and of course, lunchboxes. I couldn't find any specific numbers for how many Buck Rogers lunchboxes were made by Aladdin Industries back in 1979, but I can tell you this. It was one of the most popular lunchboxes at my elementary school. When I first laid eyes on it on the shelves at the local Walmart, no other lunchbox stood a chance. It blew my 8-year-old mind. Here's mine in all of its beat to hell glory. You got Buck, of course. Over here you have the gold-plated Twiki. We have no idea why he was dipped in gold, but we jokingly referred to him as Twinkie instead of Twiki, because, hey. You had Tim O'Connor, who played Dr. Hewer, who sadly passed away in 2018, and some artists attempted to draw and capture the essence of the gorgeous Aaron Gray, but that does not look like Aaron Gray. Over here, we have the bad guys. And speaking of baddies, we have the stunning Pamela Hensley, who played Princess Ardala. We have Duke Butler, who played Tiger Man, his one and only role. And then the infamous Henry Silva, who played Kane. I gotta tell you, this guy scared the hell out of me in everything he was in. He always creeped me out. But anyway, sadly, Henry passed away in 2022. And then rounding us out, well, of course, we have Buck. But rounding us out, we have a Draconian, who we will just call Philip. On the back, we've got an action space battle. And then over here, we've got a scene from the pilot where Buck and Twiki are going into the ruins on Earth, and because Buck refuses to believe it's the 25th century, and while they were under fire from the mutants and everything else that were out there, he did come across the tombstone where it said, hey, your parents are dead, and so are you. So there's one more side to the lunchbox, but I'm going to save that for a minute. Now, jump ahead 4 decades to 2019, and I see online that an hour away from my home, both Gil and Felix will be at a Comic-Con in Wichita, Kansas. I immediately bought tickets, could not wait to meet them. On the day of the show, I was one of the first through the doors and made a beeline immediately to their booth, lunchbox in hand, with the sole intention of getting them to sign it, which they did. Boom! Since I was there early and people were still slowly rolling in, I had a vote to myself for quite a bit. It was awesome. When I whipped out the lunchbox, they both immediately asked if I still had the thermos. I do. Usually I don't ask to get my picture taken with celebrities, as I'm much more interested in getting their autographs. But when Gil asked if I wanted to take a picture of all three of us, I said, oh, hell yes. As Felix was lining up in front for the pic, Gil leans over and whispers, let's act like we're sticking our fingers in Felix's ears. Are you ready? I mean, come on. How do you say no to Buck Rogers when he invites you on a mission with him? That day was so great. If someone would have told me when I was 8 years old that one day I'd get to meet Buck and Tweaky in person and get their autographs on the lunchbox, I wouldn't have believed it. Not in a million years. You could tell that Gil and Felix truly enjoyed working together and had formed a lifelong friendship. It was hilarious listening to them banter back and forth, playfully picking on one another the whole time. Gil is still out on the convention circuit meeting fans, so if you get a chance, go see him. He was really cool in person when I met him. Sadly, Felix passed away back in 2021, but I'm glad I got to meet him before he was gone. My full lunchbox adventure is still unfinished, however, as I'm still hoping to add Erin Gray's signature. Fingers crossed. I do have her autograph from when I wrote to her back about 10 years ago, but I'm hoping she makes a trip to one of the Midwest cons so I can finally complete the lunchbox. I love that show. Did you watch Buck Rogers in the 25th century, or have any of the numerous toys from the show when you were a kid? Drop your memories in the comments below, as I'd love to hear your story. I'm PopCultureKen, and hopefully this has been a fun little stop for you in my Collectible Corner. Stay tuned for further adventures because I have a lot more where this came from. Have a good one, take care, and good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are. I appreciate you hanging out with me in the Collectible Corner today. If you want to wander through more treasures, hit the playlist on the right and I'll meet you there. Otherwise, just kick back and let YouTube pull you down another rabbit hole. It's pretty good at that.